Hey there, good afternoon. This is me, the instructor, John, and I was wanting to kind of walk you guys through logging into Netlabs. This is something that we're going to be doing for some of our labs for the remainder of the semester, and here's kind of how you do it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go to netlabs.stanley.edu, and Stanley doesn't have an E in it. It's kind of a weird spelling. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log on with my user account. Now your account is going to be different. You're going to use your CFCC email account, so it's going to be like something at mail.cfcc.edu, and then your initial password is going to be ChangeMe, CHANGEME. Okay, that's how y'all are going to log in. Now I'm going to log in a little bit different because I've been using this Netlabs thing for a long time. I've got an old account that I'm using, and this account is jlee1568, and my password is secret. Not now. Okay, now this is what you should see whenever you log in. Okay, it's going to come in, it's going to have your user ID up here. It's going to have a place here where you can schedule labs for yourself. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to make a new lab reservation. Okay, we don't have any schedule for right now, so click on this. Schedule lab for myself. Okay, and y'all are going to just have one thing to choose from here. So you're going to click on this CFCC Net 125, or it may just skip you straight into this, if you don't have multiple classes that you're taking. Okay, so this is a list of all the CCNA1 labs that there are, and you'll see this goes from 292 all the way down to 1776. Okay, so what we're going to do, I just wanted to kind of show you how to get into this thing. We're going to open up lab 727. Okay, click on that. Okay, now here's how the pod scheduler works. There are 20 pods, and usually pods 1, 2, 3, and 4 are occupied. Not a problem. Click on this little arrow here, because usually if you click over, even if there's a whole lot of people using Netlabs at once, if you click over here to like pods 12 through 20, they're normally available. Hardly anybody ever uses these. So we'll just grab pod 17. All right, now this little red line here indicates the current time. So what we're going to do is we're going to click right below it. And you can schedule time for yourself. You could schedule it in advance if you wanted to. What you could do is go to, I don't know, like we'll go to pod 5. And we'll schedule pod 5 for 5 o'clock this evening. Okay, that would be 1700. Okay, now the default is 1 hour's worth of time. You can change that if you want to. You're allowed to, like, okay, right now we're supposed to go in at 5 and then be done at 6. You can actually do like 2 hours worth. I don't think it'll let you do more than that. Maybe it will. Okay. All right, so we could schedule ourselves for 2 hours and 50 minutes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, no, I'm not going to submit it. I'm going to go ahead and schedule pod 4. And I want to schedule it for right now. So right now it's 2:41. I want to go right on in there. And let's see if it'll let me do this. Let's see if it'll let me schedule from 2:41 until 6 o'clock. 3 hours and 8 minutes. Okay, it did it. This thing used to have a 2-hour limit on it, but I guess they took away that. Okay, so now we've got a... Now... Okay, and then we're going to enter the lab. Okay, now the lab activity knows which devices you're going to need. So if you need like 2 PCs and 2 switches and 1 router, then it's going to go ahead and show you that topology. For this particular lab, all we've got is a PC and a switch. So pretty basic. Now we can click on content here. Now the content, this is going to be the exact same thing that you see in Netacad, right? So this is going to be, so, you know, even if you don't have access to Netacad right this minute, this is going to, you know, bring this up. And I think what you can do is you can download this document and then you can upload it later to Canvas. Okay, status of the devices, they're powered on. The switch is initializing. Okay, so we'll take a look at the switch. Okay, so this thing is still in the process of booting, so we'll come back to that in just a minute. And let's take a look at PCA. Okay, PCA is on, so we don't really have to do anything here to PCA. If you want to, or if you need to change any, like say for example you're doing a lab and it says give your PC specific address, then you can come, well, if I can find my mouse, there it is. Okay, you can click on settings and then click on network. Okay, go to Ethernet, change adapter options. Okay, now there's a couple of different, it looks like there's 2 adapters on this computer. There's really not. Okay, this is for the Hyper-V virtual adapter in case you're using a virtual machine, but we're going to use this. Pretty much always you're going to grab just the Ethernet connection, and then we will change settings of this connection. And let's go down to IPv4 properties. Okay, right now this thing is set to obtain an IP address automatically, which is probably fine for this lab. I don't know. I haven't really looked through the lab since last semester, so I can't remember exactly what it says. But just in case you do need to change your IP address, you guys know how to do this. 192.168.2.12 or whatever you want it to be. And then you can change the subnet mask. You can change default gateway. You know, like if you've got a router on this network that you want to use, you know, it's probably going to be like .1 for that address. And we typically won't hassle around with DNS. Occasionally we will, but those are only for specific activities. All right, so I'm just going to cancel all this. I'm going to change it. But that's how you get in and change your Ethernet adapter. And the other thing that you'll need to be able to do is, see right here, this is, instead of having to go here and type command, which you could also do, or you can just click on this icon right here, right? And then you can ping ping whatever it tells you to ping. Okay, so switch. I'm just typing in rando commands, but you get the idea. What you would do is go to your content, and then it's going to tell you to do some certain things. Okay, first things first. It says configure the IPv4 address, subnet mask, and default gateway address for PCA. Okay, so PCA is going to be 192.168.1.3 with a gateway of 192.168.1.1. And you'll go back in and change it just like I showed you a second ago. And then it's going to ask you to do some configuration commands. no IP domain lookup. That'll keep the system from going off into la-la land if you accidentally mistype a command. And so you're going to just type in these commands and then verify your connectivity, and then you're going to take a look at some MAC addressing. Okay, this is all pretty straightforward stuff. Excuse me, if you just follow the commands. And don't skip any commands, and don't get out of order with these things. And then you're going to look at your IP configuration. You're going to see your physical address is also known as your MAC address. The OUI, the organizational unit identifier, that's going to be your first 3 octets there, and that's going to tell you who was the manufacturer of that device. And then you can go to Wireshark's website. They've got a lookup. Hang on a sec. I don't want to do that. I want to do an OUI lookup. And what was that thing again? OUI. I'm just going to grab that whole copy. Dell Incorporated. Okay, so find the vendor that manufactured this NIC. It's going to be Dell. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys that. This has already gone on for 12 minutes, so I'm not going to... And then once you are done, then you're going to go back up here. Once you get completed, then you can either request more time or you can end reservation now. Do everybody a favor and end your reservation. You know, so that somebody else can use this pod. Otherwise, you'll have it tied up for 3 more hours. And let's see, save devices. Okay, if you need to exit the pod, you know, come back later. You can save your devices. The other thing is, save to your work history, save to your files, or save to both. I usually just do save to work history, but you can do save to both. This will save the configurations on any devices that you've changed, so that I can go in and look at them later to see if you made any mistakes or whatever. So do that. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was this. Like if you're working on PCA, and it says ping 192.168.1.1. Okay, transmit failed, general failure. Okay, what I'm going to do is, because I want to show that my initial ping did not work, so I'm going to take a screenshot here. Click. Okay, screenshots. Submit. Okay, so you can actually save screenshots here on Netlabs, and that way I can go and take a look at them. And then, you know, of course, you can also use the snipping tool and cut these things and paste them into a document, or you can just save it as a JPEG and upload it into Canvas. Okay, so that was all I wanted to show you guys for right this minute, and I'm going to go ahead and post this video as soon as I can so that y'all will have it. And if you have any trouble logging into Netlabs, then let me know and I'll see if I can get you some help.